I'm a lonely guy. Never touched a girl's hand. But on day 3 of the apocalypse, I'm in bed with the Ice Queen, the hot campus belle. Don't get the wrong idea. It's a zombie siege. Not some idle drama. Still, it feels kinda nice. Day 3 of the apocalypse. These monsters, let's just call them zombies. They never get tired. Strong as hell. Their eyesight's gone bad. But their ears and nose are crazy sharp. Just pop open a can of soda. Or have a small cut that starts to bleed. And they'll swarm you in packs. In this world of chaos, degrees, status, and cash all mean nothing now. Survival is the only rule. My name's Jiang Feng. Hold up in dorm 416. Not many alive left on campus. Most turned into zombies or became zombie. Chao inside their guts. All my supplies now. 8 box of milk, a pack of noodles, 3 sausages, some candy, and half a bottle of water. By my count, this stuff will barely keep me alive for a few days. I was ready to end it all. Slitting wrists hurts too much. Jumping. A guy across the way jumped from the 5th floor, didn't die. Zombies swarmed him and ate him alive. I still hear his screams. So I thought of a clean way out. Let a zombie bite me and join their ranks. I heard when you turn, a bit of your mind stays. At least I could roam the campus and not feel hunger. As I wrote my goodbye note on the balcony and envied a couple in the next building who found love before dying. The heavens gave me a huge gift. A gift that fell right from the sky. Something soft, thump, landed right on my head. Then a shadow knocked me flat on the floor. My first thought, oh God, I'm dead. The zombies can fly now. But then I didn't smell rotting flesh. It was a faint, sweet scent. I turned to look up and froze. Tu Xingran, the quiet, drop the gorgeous, ice queen of our class. We just stared at each other. Then, next thing I knew, Tu Xingran rolled her eyes back and fainted from hunger. So, even goddesses need to eat. Seeing my last box of milk, I paused for a split second, then gave it all to her. That night she got a fever, freezing cold, half conscious. She crawled into my arms. I wasn't shy either. Held her tight. Did I enjoy it? Let's just say, for survival. The next morning, I opened my eyes. Tu Xingran's face, up close. We were holding each other, legs tangled up. The worst part, neither of us let go, until it started to rain.
It's raining.
That shout broke the awkward spell. We sprung apart like lightning. No time for romance now. We had to catch the rain. Water's worth more than gold at the end times.
Hey, you're Jiang Feng, right?
You know me.
Yeah, we were desk mates once.
In that moment, my heart was soaring. The campus bell remembered me. The rain stopped. We got half a basin. I pulled out a sausage, split it in half, and made her take 2 candies too. Watching her eat, I made a crazy choice. I'm going to the next dorm, 414. It was a small private shop before, bound to have food. But the risk was huge. The balcony door was open. At least 2 zombies inside. Tu Xingran wanted to come with me. I turned her down flat. No way. It's the man's job to step up. But deep down, I was shaky. I'm just a regular college guy, not a commando. I made a rope, sharpened a mop stick, and wrapped thick cardboard around my arms for bite-proofing. Before I left, I stood on the balcony and looked at her. I thought, this trip could be my last. Got things I can't hold back anymore. Tu Xingran, I might not make it back. So before I die, there's something I need to say. I like you.
I know. But I'm sorry. I can't right now.
Thanks. Well, friend-zoned. As expected. So awkward. I grabbed my stick, stepped onto the AC unit. Like a tragic hero, I climbed over the railing. Screw it, even if I die, I'll die with a full stomach. Zombies in 414. You're all you can eat. I mean, your Grim Reaper is here. The moment I climbed into 414, I wished I hadn't. Slid the glass door open. The stench nearly knocked me out. 2 zombies inside saw me like I was a juicy steak, howling with joy as they charged. My mind went blank. Pure instinct kicked in. I let out a roar and jabbed with that sharp mop handle. The stick pierced one's gut, but these freaks feel no pain. Pushing on the stick, still reaching for me. I used their momentum, pinned one to the door frame, trying to close the door. But the second one jumped on me too. I put my arm up to block. Though it was wrapped in cardboard, its mouth clamped down on my forearm, claws slashing like mad. I was stuck between two zombies. One in front, held off by the stick, one behind, biting my arm. Their strength was unreal. Zombies outside heard the noise and started ramming the door. That flimsy door was about to give. One thought filled my mind. This is it. I'm toast. Rejected and then eaten alive. What a horrible way to go. Right at that moment, a fierce shout came from above.
Get down.
A sickening thud. A wooden club smashed the zombie, beating my arm in the back of its skull. It stuns the thing for a sec, but it kept its grip. Tu Xingran right then, holding a broken stick, had eyes as fierce as a tiger's. Then came another blow. The zombie's skull caved in. It finally stopped moving. We worked together fast, pushed a bed against the door. The door cracked open a bit, but the zombies couldn't get in yet. We were safe at last. I slumped to the floor, gasping for breath, staring at the room full of self-heating hot pot, cola, and duck legs. I couldn't feel joy because I got bit. Blood was seeping from my arm, even with the cardboard and cloth. The teeth left bloody marks. Like in every movie, I knew I was infected. Hopeless, I told Tu Xingran, just go, take the supplies with you. I'm beaten. I'll just stay behind.
I know you don't want to die. So that love confession, give me some time to answer, and give yourself a reason to stay alive.
Her words hit me like a lightning bolt.
We'll talk later.
That means I still have a shot. But I'm about to die. I looked at her stunning face and thought, screw it, I'm turning soon. Why act like a gentleman? If I'm going out in style. I really do like you. With that, I leaned in and kissed her. The kiss was cool and soft. She tensed up, wanted to push me off, but didn't push hard. It lasted a few seconds till my stomach cramped up like crazy and I blacked out. I thought, hey, at least I went out with a bang. Worth it. Am I dead? Only heaven could feel this good. So soft, with a light scent of lemongrass. Oh man, so comfy. I nuzzled it without thinking, almost wanted to sleep in this sweet spot forever. Even if I'm a ghost, this is way too nice a treat.
Done cuddling yet?
A cold voice spoke from above. My eyes shot open to see the dorm ceiling and Tu Xingran's face, blushing like a ripe apple. She glared, shy and angry, while my head rested right on her lap. A lap pillow. The legendary lap pillow. Guys, I sprung up like I was shocked. Banged my head on the bed frame. Ouch. It really hurt, but the pain made me ecstatic. Pain means I didn't turn into a zombie. I touched my arm. The wound was already scabbed over. Turns out the cardboard and cloth had saved my life. I wasn't infected at all. The fever was just from the scare.
You slept like a dead pig. Couldn't even drag you.
Tu Xingran turned away, muttering under her breath. Seeing her red-tipped ears, I suddenly recalled that forceful kiss before I blacked out. Oh god, this is more awkward than being a zombie. We went back to 416, but before we could savor this weird, sweet moment, the very next day, the world just dropped a huge new update on us. Before dawn, a weird purple mist covered the whole city. Before dawn, a weird purple mist covered the whole city. The ground started shaking like a small quake, just a light one. But the strange thing was, I saw Tu Xingran sitting cross-legged on the bed, eyes closed, looking all mystical. What are you doing? Meditating?
Shush! I feel a stream of energy flowing into my body.
Girl, you ain't going crazy from hunger. I wanted to laugh, but soon I couldn't. Because I felt it too. Some kind of energy seeped in with each breath. My body felt all warm. Days of hunger and tiredness just vanished in a flash. What's going on? While I stood there confused, I heard sounds outside. I went to the balcony and looked. A guy in the next building was waving his shirt like a flag. It had words on it. Bro, spiritual chi is back. What? The zombie siege isn't even over. And now a cultivation era begins? And it wasn't just the chi. When I looked out from the balcony again, I was stunned. Overnight, the bare concrete ground had huge cracks. The gap between the two buildings stretched several meters wider. The trees down below looked juiced up, taller than the building floors. One of the teaching buildings got crushed by vines. This ain't a college campus no more. It's straight up Jurassic Park. This world's gone totally nuts. This world's gone totally nuts. Plants outside shoot up so fast.
It sounds like bones cracking.
Feels like humanity just got booted off the top of the food chain. Not just plants going wild. Time's acting weird too. The sun just came up not long ago, but my phone says it's already 10:30 in the morning. I stared out at that layer of purple mist and had a hunch. This purple chi might be our true cheat code for surviving this wasteland. Right at that moment, the guy across from us sent us another message. He was waving a piece of cloth. It read, "Kill zombies, get loot drops." Just moments ago, that guy killed a zombie and dug out of its chest a white crystal. He said it's called a zombie core. Eat one and your strength explodes. Hearing this news, my hands were shaking. Isn't this basically an XP boost in an RPG? The more you eat, the more you rule in this apocalypse. Looking down at the zombie, skin growing sick armor, looking more like monsters by the minute. I knew if you don't want to be prey, you gotta become the hunter. Tu Xingran and I shared a look and saw the fire in each other's eyes. Sure, we had food now, but living off reserves is just waiting to die. I set my sights on dorm 412 next door. A single zombie in there. If that guy wasn't lying, that zombie's guts hold the key to getting stronger. Tu Xingran pulled out the small knife I gave her, looking even fiercer than me.
This time, I'm coming with you. This time, I'm coming with you.
Seeing that look on her face, I suddenly thought, this free lunch, this team-up feeling, it's freaking great. Time to move. We climbed over the railing once more, and stormed dorm 412. Our teamwork was way smoother this time. That lone zombie, we took it down with ease. And the best part, we found a real treasure. A bag of red apples that hadn't rotted. The skin was a little bit wrinkled, but in my eyes, they shined brighter than rubies. I grabbed one, wiped it hard on my dirty shirt, and took a bite. Crunch. Sweet juice burst in my mouth in that split second as the sweet sour taste slid down my throat. I swear I tasted civilization again. I handed one to Tu Xingran. She cupped it in her hands, like it was some fragile relic, nibbling it bit by bit, not even willing to toss the core. Seeing her puffed up cheeks, I felt that to protect this one moment, I'd be willing to take on the whole damn world. We gathered our loot and got ready to head back, but we never saw it coming. Death was waiting right on the balcony. Tu Xingran was holding the supplies, about to climb back to our room. Suddenly, a huge dark shadow darted out from inside the dorm. It was a crow, no. Not any normal crow. It was as big as a turkey. Red-eyed, beak like a steel hook. It flew straight at Tu Xingran. That mutated crow slammed right into Tu Xingran. Tu Xingran lost her balance and fell over the edge. We're on the 4th floor. Forget the fall damage. Down below is a swarm of zombies, mouths open, waiting for dinner. In that split second, the whole world froze. My mind was completely blank, but my body moved on its own. I lunged forward and grabbed her hand. Tu Xingran wasn't heavy, but with the momentum, a huge jolt of pain shot through my shoulder in an instant. Grab tight, don't you let go. I yelled, my face turning beet red, veins on my neck popping out like earthworms. My arm felt like it was tearing apart. I thought my joints would snap, but I didn't dare loosen my grip. Survivors across the way saw this scene and were all stunned. They waved their own clothes, writing messages of support. Hanging in the air, Tu Xingran slowly opened her eyes. She saw my red, straining face, fighting to hold her. For the first time, no ice in her gaze, only deep fear and true reliance. And it was in that moment, I knew we were no longer just classmates. We were comrades in life and death. At last, I found some hidden super strength and pulled her back up. She collapsed into my arms, shaking all over. I was shaking too. I held her tight, panting. It's okay now. It's okay? But was it really? It's okay. It's okay. But was it really okay? We had just fled back inside, shut the glass door, and the room was pure chaos. That mutated crow that attacked Tu Xingran, there were 3 of them, not just one. It turned our dorm into their own buffet. But their target right now was a huge flying bird. The bird kept letting out a cooing sound. A pigeon. That pigeon mutated too. big as a hawk, gray-white phasers. But the 3 crows had it pinned, beating it down. It was about to be ripped apart. The pigeon turned its head and looked at us. Its eyes were full of a plea for help. That look was so full of soul. Like a human's. I felt kind of bad for the pigeon. Plus those crows almost killed my girl. I mean, my goddess. Old and new grudges surged up inside me. You mess with my girl, I'll end you. I grabbed that trusty mop handle, ran up and swung with all my might. If this world's gone mad, then I'll teach these damn beasts who's the real boss of this dorm room. You mess with my girl, I'll end you. One crow got slammed into the wall. Its wing snapped, cawing in pain. The other 2 crows saw this and flew straight at me, their sharp beaks aiming for my eyes. In that critical moment, Tu Xingran snapped back to her senses. She grabbed a jacket, used it like a net, and covered one of the crows, smacking it to the ground. Right at that time, that big pigeon we saved earlier suddenly burst with fury. It called out loud, used the chaos to pin the last crow with its claws, and pecked a hole right through its neck. Fight's over. Bird feathers everywhere. Me and the pigeon took down 2 crows, and Tu Xingran tied the last one up. Now it's cowering like a chicken, and that big pigeon didn't run off. It flew up to me, tilted its head, and looked at me a while, then coughed up a small, blood-stained white rock. A zombie core. So mutated animals have them inside too. It placed the core right by my feet and took 2 steps back. Like it was paying me tribute, I looked at this highly intelligent, giant pigeon, picked up the core, and realized in this apocalypse, a flying ally beats an extra knife any day. With this core, I could test out that rumor. Will swallowing it really make me stronger? I washed the core clean, mixed it in water, and drank it down. I washed the core clean, mixed it in water, and drank it down. In that instant, a burning heat like hot lava spread through my whole body. My skin felt scorching hot. When the heat faded, my whole body felt charged up. All my weakness was just gone. I clenched my fist, knuckles cracking loud. I felt like I could kill a bull with 1 punch. I had 1 more core in my hand, dug out from the dead crow. I gave it to Tu Xingran. After she drank it down, she looked at me, eager to test her strength. And here comes the classic scene. I wanted to roast some crow meat, but had no firewood. I had my eye on the solid wooden bedboard. We're talking solid wood, 2 inches thick. I used all my strength, and barely cracked a piece off. Thought I was pretty tough.
Let me try.
Her pale, tender hand gave it a light squeeze, and snap, a clean, crisp sound. Like snapping a cracker, she broke that thick board right in 2. My jaw nearly hit the floor. The cup in my hand almost dropped.
Seems like my strength's gone up a bit.
I stared at the broken board and gulped, a chill down my spine. If that slap had landed on my face,
would I even have a face left?
Guys, I'm getting the feeling that in this home, my status might be slipping fast. With power now, and with food, you also need a business brain. That big pigeon we rescued wasn't planning to leave at all. This guy is super smart and eats like a pig. Just give it some zombie course, and it'll obey your command. Staring at this bomber ruling the sky, a wild thought hit me. Wasn't this a natural-born delivery guy? The gap between the buildings got too wide. No one could trade. But I had a pigeon. I hung out my sign on the balcony. Young's Doomsday convenience store is open. Simple rules. 1 zombie core for 100 G of food, or 200 milliliters of clean water. The opposite building went nuts in a flash.
Bro, I got a core.
Swap for some noodles.
Oh, boss, can I get some water? I'm dying of thirst.
Me too, me too, me too, me too. I tied a bag to the pigeon's leg and ordered it to fly across. They put the cores inside. The pigeons flew back and I sent the food over. At first, people thought it was pricey because let's face it, 1 zombie core costs a life to get, but I wasn't in a rush. Evolved zombies are everywhere now. You've got the strength to kill them, but without food, you'll still die waiting. Sure enough, before long, the first deal was done, and then more and more people came to trade. That pigeon made over 10 flights in a day. So tired it nearly passed out. Then it went on strike. I had to feed it a pack of crackers and a zombie core just to get it working again. Besides the cores, I traded for quite a few good things. Someone swapped a sharp fruit knife for 2 packs of spicy sticks. Someone traded a phone with a tiny bit of charge for a bottle of water. It was full of dozens of GB of study materials. Bros, you know what I mean?
But that very last trade was the craziest one.
Bros, You know what I mean. But that very last trade was the craziest one. A girl across the way sent word that she had good stuff to swap. The pigeon flew back, and the bag was all bulging and puffy, right in front of Tu Xingran. I opened the bag. Oh boy. A whole pack of colorful and very pink, very lacy underwear. The air just froze solid right there. Tu Xingran's face went bright red, all the way down her neck. I swear, I really didn't know it was that stuff. I can explain this.
You creep.
She snatched the whole package and stomped off in a huff. Remember that thing about her snapping? A thick wooden board with bare hands. That slap, she must have pulled her punch. Or my head would have spun 3 times on my neck, even though I got smacked. This whole deal was still a win. Now I've got 9 zombie cores on me, a badass campus belle with crazy strengths by my side, and a sky-dominating, express delivery godbird. In this post-apocalyptic world of chaos, I, Jiang Feng, even as just a regular college guy, am gonna lead my goddess and survive step by step, maybe even live better than anyone else. But the good days didn't even last 2 full days. When Tu Xingran suddenly told me she could sense through the spirit chi that the zombies downstairs were going through some scary changes. They've grown bone spikes and are forming a ladder to climb up. And it seems something even more horrifying has set its sights on my little store. That golden beastly eye, watching from the dark, finally made its move. With a huge crash of shattering glass, a giant black shadow smashed through the balcony door of 416, crashing hard into the room. Under the eerie purple moonlight, I saw clearly what it was. Not a zombie at all, but a mutated giant lizard the size of a crocodile, covered in purple black scales from head to tail. Its suction cup feet gripped the floor tight. Its golden vertical pupils were full of greed. Clearly our huge pile of supply and the tempting smell of our evolved flesh and blood had drawn it here. Just when it rains, it pours. At that very moment, the zombie ladder outside had reached the edge of our balcony. Several rotting arms were reaching through the gaps, scratching like mad, trying to climb in. Xingran, get back to the corner. I'll hold it off from the front. I let out a roar, grabbed my club, and rushed in. But this beast had insane reflexes. A long pink tongue whipped out, like a bullet. With a loud crack, it smashed through the table and chair barricade we just set up. Amidst flying wood chips, Tu Xingran reacted with lightning speed and shoved me out of the way. That tongue pierced straight through a bedboard, leaving a deep hole in the wall. In our moments of need, the big pigeon, our bomber, showed how fierce it was. It dove straight for the giant lizard, its sharp beak aiming fiercely for that golden eye. This bought us our only chance to catch a breath. The cramped dorm 416 turned into a battleground in a flash. The cramped dorm 416 turned into a battleground in a flash. The giant lizard roared in pain. Its tail swept, sending the remaining steel-framed beds screeching across the floor. My sharpened mop handle jabbed hard at its back, but it just skidded off like hitting a tire. The shock numbed my hands. I watched the lizard open its giant bloody mouth, ready to lunge at Tu Xingran. In a moment of pure quick thinking, I snatched up the mutated crow we tied up to the head of the bed, the one we planned to keep as emergency rations. With every ounce of strength I had, I hurled that flapping, screeching black crow straight at the lizard. Here's a snack for ya. The lizard's wild instinct was instantly snatched by that frantically moving chunk of meat. It twisted its huge body in mid-air, opened its mouth, and swallowed the crow whole, chewing it with loud crunches. Now's our chance. Tu Xingran knew just what to do. She leaped off the tilted table into the air, the fruit knife in her hand tracing a cold arc in the purple light. She drove it precisely into the exposed gap in the lizard's neck as it fed. At the same time, I swung a solid wood bedboard with both hands, channeling all my strengths, and brought it crashing down on the lizard's skull. Like smashing a rotten melon, half the lizard's head caved in from my blow. Its body shook with violent spasms. Its tail thrashed wildly in a death fit. Finally, when our pigeon buddy pecked out its other eye, the giant beast stopped moving for good. Fight's over. I dropped to the floor, breathing heavily. But was the danger truly over? The giant lizard was finally dead, its massive body almost filled up half the dorm, stinking to high hell. This fight taught us, we who had evolved were no longer just lambs waiting for slaughter. We can now fight these monsters head on. See if there's any good loot I cut open the lizard's chest without a second thought, and right there, next to its heart, I found a crystal much bigger than the normal zombie corpse, glowing with a faint green light. My heart soared with wild joy, and I quickly stashed it away. This giant lizard was clearly way tougher than the zombies outside. This core had to be a true treasure. Just then, the zombie ladder outside trembled again. Time to recycle some junk. Tu Xingran and I shared a look, and worked together to lift the hollowed-out lizard corpse. Down you go. The hundreds of pounds heavy body flew down. Like a cannonball, we shoved off the balcony, smashing hard into the dense swarm of zombies below. With a deep, muffled crash and the sound of snapping bones, a huge chunk of the zombie ladder collapsed. The crisis was fully averted. Back inside of the room, I cleaned the green crystal and split it right in half. After I downed it, I felt my bones burning hot, like my muscles were tearing and reforming. I woke up 10 odd minutes later. The world in front of my eyes was sharper than it had ever been. Tu Xingran awoke too. She clenched her fist, the knuckles making a crisp popping sound.
I feel like I could bend this iron railing with my bare hands right now.
Though the immediate danger had passed, I knew we couldn't stay here long. This building was no longer safe. The fight left this place a wreck, and the stench of the giant lizard's blood would surely draw more monsters. More to the point, the mutated ivy outside was drilling into the walls like mad. I stared at the fresh sprouts poking through the floor cracks and made a choice. We have to get out of here.
Where to?
The dining hall. It has cold storage, the walls are solid, and it's near the supermarket too. We started our final battle preparations. I tore apart the steel-framed bed and took 2 solid iron bed legs as heavy melee weapons. Tu Xingran took the rubbing alcohol and the liquor we'd saved and poured them into empty bottles. She tore up a sheet for wicks, making a few simple Molotov cocktails. These can be lifesavers when things go south. I carefully placed the cocktails in the outer pocket of my bag. We stuffed all the zombie cores, high-calorie food, and bottled water into our backpacks. Take everything we can. Body, from now on, you're our eyes in the sky. Packs on our backs, iron rods in hand, Molotovs on our belts. I looked at this dorm room we'd lived in for 3 years. My heart was full of mixed feelings. With our memories in tow, we stepped out the door. What waited for us from here on out was the start of a whole new journey.